You got to know when to hold 'em.
Know when to fold 'em. Know when to walk away.
We're in my hotel room with an ironing board, so it's a really janky setup. I love it. Welcome to Peeling the Orange. We're joined with the pro players today for Tribe Gaming. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Thanks for having us.
I'm doing great.
I'm doing great, OJ. How about yourself?
You're doing great, even though you lost as co-founder. I demand
Whoa,
answers.
whoa. Less great, but good.
I think you guys did really well. Like, what was the preparation in terms of everything to like leading up to this event? Like drafting, how does it all work? I just play Brawl Stars, man. Even if the teams are equally matched, the person who gets the best draft pick always wins. It's like, is it like rock, paper, scissors at this point? Is the game that deep?
I feel like since there's so many brawlers and so many strategies, I feel like sometimes like last pick, for example, in competitive has been like better than having first pick. In a way, when you get like a lot of first picks, you're put in a disadvantage. I don't know. I just feel like having last pick is just like better. And lately, I feel like we haven't had those last picks.
I feel like Lukey Bear was telling me about that for when you're playing Power League and solos, last pick is always better because you can pick the last carry
Right.
for your
Yeah.
whole team.
For example, is Livy. He likes playing Squeak, and if you have a comp that's like B, Spike, and like Ruffs, you're just gonna get last picked by Livy, Squeak, and you just can't do anything.
I would hate that.
I would love it. I would. But I would say like usually whoever wins has drafts. And I would say like 80% of the actual win comes from the draft. We're not the best drafters, but I think that even if we have a losing draft, we still have
There's
a
a
good
chance.
shot at winning. Yeah. We're pretty good at it.
Because we're like so good like mechanically, especially these two guys. I'm just like there sometimes, to be honest. 80% draft and then 20% mechanical skills sometimes.
There's a player in Clash Royale, or I guess he's like a coach. Julesy, I don't know if you guys know him, but I think he's one of the people responsible for getting the top finishes and just picking the best decks in Clash Royale. With Julesy, you can get into the mind of the opponents. Like, so you're gonna want to pick this to counter their deck, and he always gets in their head. Do you guys feel like there's someone like that in the Brawl Stars scene?
Yeah, I mean, there's analysts and just people like watching you scrim sometimes. And not only that, I feel like in like NA, if you scrim a team, they like sometimes leak your bans actually. That's something that we feel like is happening. I don't know, and people just figure out our bans, people know what we play. And sometimes we figure out something and people just like know about it. Like for example, in the tournament, in the DreamHack San Diego, we played B left side on open zone, and I feel like STMN abused it. So that's something like we kind of figured out. Yeah, it just sucks sometimes.
There's so many layers of mind games to this.
I think the most like I guess powerful mind game is that once, especially in a best of 5, but even if it's just a normal best of 3 like we're all used to, if you lose a set, sometimes it can be so demotivating that it carries on. Even if you're acting like it's okay, it's still like in the back of your mind and it can affect how you play. So sometimes getting in your own head is worse than other people getting in your head.
Like for example, knockout is like extremely long sometimes. It can go to like the last minute of like the fog, and then if you lose that set that normally takes like 15 minutes, that's like so like demotivating.
Not just for Brawl Stars, but for Clash Royale, you have these players from Japan that I noticed are crazy at keeping their emotions in. They win and they're not even smiling. They lose, they're not even like upset. At least for Clash Royale, I see it and it's like, wow, you just won $1 million and you were like, thumbs up.
Going on that actually, recent Worlds, the team that won, which is the 10 side team, Zeta Zero, they were about to lose in the first round versus Chazmac, and Tensai was still laughing, being down 2-0.
Yeah.
So,
and even though they're down 2-0-2, they still kept pushing as if they could win. And then eventually they did.
They won the whole thing.
It's
Yeah.
very inspirational. Yeah.
he was literally laughing.
Tyron, tell me a little bit about yourself. How old are you?
20 years old. I'm currently in college, studying electrical engineering, and I'd say I'm doing Brawl like 50-50, like 50% school and then 50% Brawl.
Better than the Lobster Man. He's always leaving everyone.
Yeah, I'd say I'm probably the one that has the least amount of free time on the team, unless Corey has like a lobster fishing season. Then, yeah, but I probably play the game the least out of these guys. Kind of a struggle sometimes balancing the pro side and my school stuff.
How do you manage to balance all of that? Because Electrical engineering is not easy.
Yeah, it's definitely not. I'm only on my second year. It's getting pretty difficult. I have classes 3 times a week. If it ever gets too difficult, I might take a little break from Brawl Stars because I'd say education is my number one priority. But yeah, for now, I think it's going pretty smooth.
You know what's funny? Me and Lex told Wasim the opposite.
He said Brawl was the priority.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because Lex has 7 kids, as you all know. He loves saying how he has 7 kids. He was saying Wasim was applying for college and he wanted to be an accountant. And Lex said, dude, you're so talented. You could do YouTube and you're going to blow up. Try it for a year before you apply for college. And we'll help you with that. Like everyone at Tribe will help you if you need any support for anything. Did it for a year. And he's like, I have no regrets. I'm never looking back on that. And if YouTube didn't work out, you could go to college anytime. I'm 33 and I have friends that have graduated at like 25, 26. My best friend got a master's in data science at the age of 33. So it's never too late. Whereas with Brawl, are you always going to be good? Are you going to be good after college? Your parents are going to hate me. I'm so sorry, Tyrants, mom and dad. I'm not telling them to drop out. That's not what I'm saying.
yeah, my parents are definitely like very strict about it's in their blood, but I think they've definitely gotten more lenient over the years. Like back in the day, they would take me along, and I actually missed a day of Brawl Stars quals because they would make me go with them somewhere. They've definitely gotten less and more lenient as time went on.
Once they see that cheddar, that money.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing for my parents is that they survived 2 wars. They escaped and they came here on a boat as refugees. That boat was like, there were pirates pillaging these boats. There was a lot of war crimes going on and they've had to deal with a lot of trauma. They went to Germany first. So they came to Canada after, and that's where I was born. And like the struggles and the hardship that they had to go through, their mentality was, we sacrificed everything to give you this good life. The least you can do is make that life good by going to school, because that's all they know. And
Right.
I don't blame them for that, because that's, to them, school equals successful life equals happiness, but that doesn't always mean happiness.
Right.
I learned that the hard way.
You're right. And there's this like trend now on TikTok, a lot of like, I don't know, stuck in school compared to like social media being more successful.
Don't get us wrong. School can be
Yeah.
good as long as you apply it. I've seen some of, because I'm old, so I've seen my friends go to school for the sake of going to school. They'll get like a bachelor's in science, and then they'll like apply for an entry-level job somewhere that they didn't even need a degree for.
Right.
Right.
And it's like almost like wasted time.
Exactly. I'm not saying it's always wasted. Like if you go to business and you like meet friends and you meet connections there, that's worth it. If you go to electrical engineering, that's like, that makes sense because there's an end goal for that. You study electrical engineering, you get an electrical engineer job. Some routes make sense and some don't.
Right.
Fuck, I feel like I'm your dad now. Preach. I'm like double your age. I'm like, school's good. School's not good. Just be happy, boys.
No, but this is good to everyone watching though, so they can have like ideas on what to do. They look at you, you're obviously very successful. They look at us like playing pro, but he's studying, so they can like compare and see what to do in a way.
I respect that balance. There's it's a lot. Electrical engineering or like even any engineering degree, there's a lot of work behind that. And you're balancing like the scrims and everything. Tell me about the scrims. How much time do you put into practicing or pushing ladder? I don't know. Do pros push ladder to practice? I know Sans pushes a lot of ladder,
Sans
but I
does
don't know.
push
His
ladder.
fame is crazy. He's very up there.
I push like 0 to none ladder. These guys are the ones that play a lot. So I just mainly do scrims, and I try to join pickup scrims as well, just to get that extra practice. Yeah, these guys I think play way more than I do.
I think playing ladder in Power League for like an hour or two a day. I know as Livy plays ladder for like 2 hours a day plus scrims.
Oh, I wonder why.
Okay.
Are we gonna get into that? Yes or no?
Stay tuned.
No, we're chill.
We're chill.
But scrims normally it's from Monday to Friday, sometimes Sunday. I'm trying to get Sunday in there too. But it's from 5 to 9 usually, so like 4 hours. 2 hours one scrim against one team, and then like maybe a short break, and then 2 hours another scrim. So basically 4 hours of scrims practice, and then 2 hours just to like play ladder and do whatever you want, play ranked, which is Power League.
And if we're coming up like on a tournament, important tournament, the next weekend or whatever, we'll do a little bit more practice as it gets closer.
I don't know about you guys, but when I'm playing Brawl Stars, I can get really good in a day of like playing for 10 hours straight. But then if I don't play for 2 days, I'll regress down to like day one player. I don't know what it is. I can get so good and then just get even worse if I stop playing for 2 days.
Me too. If I don't play consistently, I get really bad. After Worlds, I took like a break, and that was like I still need to like play a little bit. If not, I just go back. My level is just way down.
I feel like some of you all are just gifted and like you don't play for a week, you pick it up and like same as
Actually, it was last year when I was gone away to Bangladesh for 2 months, and pretty much I got to play Zero Brawl. That's when we picked up his Livy as well, and I came back a week before quals. Quals were gonna start, and I was so freaking rusty. Like I was getting claps on my lane like everywhere, but we still ended up winning that monthly. And yeah, it was really hard to get like back into shape. We did a lot of scrims.
So, as Livy, tell me a little bit about yourself. How old are you? I'm going to say you're 19.
Almost. I'm
Almost?
18.
18?
I turned 19 early May 9th is my birthday. I'm currently taking a break from college, like right now.
And about taking a break, I wish high school prepared everyone better, myself included, in like, hey, it's okay. You don't have to apply immediately.
Right.
If you need to take a year off to think about what you're going to do for the rest of your life, take a year off.
It's definitely a stereotype that I wish wasn't so encouraged, that immediately after you graduate your high school, you're going into your next chapter. Like there was nothing in high school that grabbed my interest that I wanted to just like set the rest of my life on. I was good. I had good grades, but there was nothing. I got the good grades because I just wanted to make parents happy, I guess.
Such a recurring theme.
Yeah. Parents definitely helped with school, I guess, but there was no interest grabbing topics that I wanted to pursue in, except for Brawl, which isn't school related, but it was something that I could make some money off of that is more than the average 18-year-old job that I could kind of focus on.
How do you guys deal with your friends? You're like, oh, we just won $10,000 at San Diego. Like, are your friends like, oh, that's normal? Or are they like, hey, can you buy me some chipotle?
A lot of my friends know that I compete and they support me in it. And I'll tell them everywhere I'm going. They think it's the neatest thing. All of them say that it's the coolest. I'm like the coolest person they know, which is obviously, it might not be true. It's not true to me. But I do think
That's
like,
imposter syndrome.
Okay, maybe. But like I feel like my 10-year-old self wouldn't ever believe that I'm going to Sweden to play in a video game tournament to win thousands of dollars. Like that just sounds like a dream.
Are your friends all able to comprehend that you're traveling the world and everything? Y'all have traveled the world more than I have by like the age of 30. And from what I heard during dinner today is that was like your first time going to Sweden. How are the trips and everything?
So Sweden was the first time I was flying overseas at all. And it was the first time I was flying alone with no friends or family. But it was much needed. I was very much of an introvert before that kind of happened, and doing something that was so out of my comfort zone, I think made me a better person and made me kind of grow in a way. So having parents that support that is a big thing for me.
My first trip alone was when I was 26, like on an airplane by myself. I'm like, that's weird. I'm not traveling with any friends. Usually I'd go to Vegas with like some friends or something for EDC or whatever, partying, or like going on a family vacation to Vietnam or wherever we want to go. But that was like the first time I went on a solo trip, and I was out of my comfort zone. Like, I feel so alone right now. This is weird. I'm a man child. I need someone to hold my hand. But, yeah, no. But it does develop that independence that I think is really necessary, even if it wasn't until I was 26 to do that. But like even recently, I was like, I want to watch a Demon Slayer movie, and I am not going to wait for my friends to do that. And it's like, we don't even talk in the movie, so I'm just going to go watch it by myself. I had a great time. Oh man, do you guys watch anime? I'm derailing.
I've only watched one anime.
I've watched
You're dead to me.
few.
Get out.
Few. I've watched few.
I tried Death Note, At the first episode, no. I tried.
Death Note might take like 10 episodes to get into.
Attack on Titan.
I'll try that one.
Hunter.
Yuki Bear got into Attack on Titan. Hunter x Hunter. Oh, that's fire.
Great show.
You're my new favorite tribe player.
Perfect. That was the goal.
Zoulan, tell me a little about you. We don't know anything about you. I can't Google you. How old are you?
I am Zoulan. My name is Sebastian Perez, real name. I am 19 years old. I'm from the beautiful island of Puerto Rico.
Oh my God! Say that again. The way you said the R's.
Kaner said that to me actually. You're kind of adding the R. I was like, yeah, I'm from Puerto Rico. So I have to add it.
Oh, I love that. How do your parents feel about you doing what you do?
Throughout my high school or school years, from my first grade till my 11th grade, I was an honor student, getting straight A's. And my senior year is when I started popping off in Brawl, which was 2020 COVID year. So I was at home taking classes from home, really focusing on Brawl, but not doing any schoolwork, right? And my parents were like on me, you're like, you got to focus on this, you got to focus on this. So then 2020, my team, my beautiful team, I was a sub, qualified for Poland. And I was like, Mom, Dad, I'm going to Poland. So they went with me because they're not going to send me alone.
Yeah.
I was 16, and that's when they saw, oh, this might be real.
Holy crap, this is a real thing.
Yeah. And Poland still had an audience. So their parents took their children to just go see the event. And Poland was my first event, and it was unreal. Like unreal, just the stage, the people, like the professionalism. And they were like, man, like this is a real thing. And ever since then, Poland, then Romania, Sweden, Colombia, San Diego, Seattle, Paris. There's like
wow,
and
in just 3 years.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into I am getting into money, but our team has made almost $500,000, and if you make the math, me and Tyrant probably have made over 100,000, and as Livy's getting there, so.
It's public information. You can literally Google it. So, yeah,
Wikipedia, it's there, and once my parents start seeing how real it is and the money. They were really supportive, immediately, which is really good.
It's all about the money. Yeah. All about the money.
All about the money.
And it is, because the core of it is that it comes from a loving place. They care and love you so much that they just want what's best for you and a healthy future. And when they see that you're able to support yourself, then yes, I want to support your passion.
Right.
So it is about money, but from a loving spot. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
And I was in, obviously the one was best for me. I was in private school actually in Puerto Rico, which is my English is pretty good, I'd say. And my parents took care of that. They've obviously wanted what's best for me ever since, forever. Shout out to Mom and Dad. Thank you. But yeah, that's basically my life story. I used to play baseball too when I was little. So I could, that discipline from baseball, put it into Brawl. Which is why I scrim a lot, and these guys sometimes hate me for it, and I want to scrim all the time. But yeah.
Oh, that's the same with Ben. Ben always wants to grind. He's on 4 masteries. Oh man.
4 is a lot. 4 is crazy.
He was trying to get all of our friends' requests just so we can help him.
Yep. What a grinder. That's the first thing is oh, these pros? Maybe I can be their friend so they can help me grind masteries. He's really good, and it pisses me off.
I actually think he's really good, out of all the content creators, I think he's pretty good. Mechanic, actually.
Whoa.
I don't want to throw some shade to the rest of the content creators, but
catch me on a day when I'm pushing R35. I will be the best brawler on that map on that specific day, and I will destroy any team on that specific hour.
I will be sniping.
And I will wreck you.
Oh.
I'm staring right now.
I think it has to happen. I think it has to happen.
What do you guys do with all this prize money? I want Tyrant. You're the oldest. I want the most responsible answer.
Pretty much, I've not spent any of it. Basically,
you bought a PS5.
That's probably the most expensive thing that I bought.
That's the PS5 doesn't help you with Brawl Stars. You're banned.
Oh,
it's all saved pretty much. My dad actually put some of the money into a bank in Bangladesh, and it's gonna grow from there. But my dad has a plan to get into real estate with that money, and he's gonna give all the earnings, the property to me. I'm using that money, so me and my dad have a plan figured out, and I'm just gonna keep earning more and more, and he's gonna keep saving up and build that career for me.
Oh, I love that. I love the responsibility. The 33-year-old in me is so happy how you're saving everything. Oh,
Shout out to Tyron's dad.
Yeah.
huge shout out. I love the responsibility and the finances and planning for your future because that sets you up for success. Instead of berating you or for like whatever, he's helping you support and teach you how to use those finances, which, by the way, America doesn't do enough of that. Nobody knows what a credit card is or what credit scores mean or anything like that. So like to have your father like step in and fill in that gap is great. As Livy, what about you? What do you do with the money?
I'm also a big saver. I
love it.
I'm very stingy when it comes to spending. I only spend it on what I think is necessary because I don't want a lot of things. Like people ask me what I want for my birthday. I never have a good answer. I usually just end up getting, money from grandma or whatever, and then that just goes back in the bank account. But I think I'm currently in the process with my dad, who's kind of, since I'm newer to Tribe than Tyron is, it's like the beginning stages of that, what to do, what the best ways are to use money that you're not actively using. And so we're just figuring that out.
Inflation right now is 7%. For every $100,000 that is in the bank, it's losing $7,000 per year.
Yes,
Isn't that crazy?
That is wild. Yeah.
For now, at least. The world is in trying times. Usually it's 2%, but it's at 7% right now because of COVID causing all these logistics delays and everything else. But that's a whole different podcast. We're not a finance podcast. We're here about Zoulan. What are you doing with your money? And you can tell me you just buy gold and just ball out and I'll be happy with that too.
Dirty Jimmer?
Yes.
Lex would be proud.
Lex. Every single update, I spend $100, which is probably not as much as you.
Whoa.
But I gemmed the entire Brawl Pass.
Whoa.
So you must be happy or proud of me.
I like that you gem the Brawl Pass to get the new Brawler because it's at the end of the day, it is literally a business expense.
Yep.
To get information about the Brawler and have that lead. But what I don't agree is you gemming to tier 70 for that skin. You're just flexing at that point.
I really am.
I love that. I can relate, Oh yeah.
I don't have every single skin, but I have probably most of the skins. Probably like 70-80% of the skins.
Yeah.
So I like
What do you do with the other not $100?
I'm probably the bigger spender or on the team, I would say. Probably like me and Corey, but mostly save it for the most part. What's so funny?
What's so funny? Yeah,
what's so
come on,
funny?
tell.
Corey, what Corey would spend his money on. I wonder what he would say.
Gambling.
So Corey would probably just spend his money on lobsters or whatever the heck lobster people do.
So yeah, mostly saving the money. I bought the car that my dad had. I just bought it for him. It was like he owed like $3,000 on it. I just bought that just to have a car. It's a 2016 Corolla, so not that bad as a first car.
It was only $3,000 for a 2016 Corolla.
I mean, that's what it owed. I bought a chain. I don't want to show it that much, but yeah, I've always wanted a chain. Well, I'm from Puerto Rico, so mostly, the singers or rappers from Puerto Rico have a chain, but I think it looked pretty nice. I was like, Mom, you know what? I have the money. I want something for myself.
I'm going to treat myself. I was working 18, 20 hours a day, and I wasn't spending a single penny. So then, a lot of you guys already know. I don't know if I talked about this in a previous podcast because it's not even linear at this point, but I just worked 18 hours a day. I slept 3 hours, and I was gaining a ton of weight because I was sacrificing my health for work because my immigrant parents drilled into me the most important thing in life is money. If you work, then you get money and you're happy and you have a family, you can support that family. But they drilled that so hard into me that I didn't take my health first. I didn't spend any money. And then one day I got rear-ended by this old lady in my McLaren.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. And it was a $40,000 rear end for her.
Oh, wow.
But
wow.
she got out and she saw the doors go up because it's a supercar.
Right.
Right.
$40,000.
She rear-ended it. She sees me get out of the car. The doors swing up.
She start
And
crying.
she was like, he rear-ended me. He was speeding. It's like, ma'am, if I was speeding, you wouldn't have rear-ended me. I wasn't speeding. I was at a stop sign and I needed to yield to pedestrians. And she was just old. That's all it was. And she was scared. Like for you guys, for insurance, if you rear end a Civic, if you rear end a supercar, it's the same. you're not going to be punished for more. You're only punished for rear ending. That's all it is. So, but she was freaking out. You were speeding. And then someone on the sidewalk was like, no, no, he wasn't. And then she signed a witness report like, no, he really wasn't. And then paramedics came. They took my blood pressure. I was like, I don't remember what it was. It was like 150 over 120 or something. It was something ridiculous. If you look at it on like a blood pressure chart, that's like, if you're in this range, you're going to have a heart attack soon. Seek medical attention. But the paramedics were like, it's a hot day. Maybe you were stressed because you got rear ended. I was like, no, I'm not really stressed. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. And life goes on. Whatever. But then a month later, I had to do I went to the doctor's just for a checkup. Same blood pressure. And then the nurse, she was like, maybe you had coffee, you're tired or something. Like, no, I had like good sleep. I didn't drink coffee yet or any of that. And then I was like, holy crap. I am literally working myself to death right now. And I'm not spending a single penny. It's like, what's the point in taking all of this money to the grave?
Yeah.
So like ever since then, I've worked on exercising, better nutrition, and just like treating myself a little bit. So, it's like, it's good to save some money here and there for like your future. And you guys are young, but it's also a little good to like, treat yourself a little bit in moderation. So I totally get that.
And talking about that, I don't spend that much on only a couple things I've bought, but I like eating good, and especially on game days.
Eating good, it's not even not bad. It's like, if that's what makes you happy,
right?
That's really important. Some people don't like food. Some people really like food. And they're like, yeah, I support that. What were we talking about? I just rambled off on myself.
Money.
What we're doing.
Do you save your money?
Yeah, I have basically like 80% of my money saved up.
I like
basically.
Yeah.
I have a Roth IRA actually. Shout out to mom. She works at a bank. Shout out to you, mom. I love you. Because I don't know how to invest. I mean, I'm 19.
The Roth IRA, that's solid. Yeah.
That's a good start. But obviously, I want to get into more investments. But I just, I'm a noob.
I'm not a finance channel, but statistically speaking, over the last 30, 40 years, the S&P 500, which is the top 500 stocks, they are generally speaking up 7% on average per year. There might be some years where they're down 5%, but then other years where they're up 14%. On average, you gain 7% year over year compounding. But if you can't afford to leave that money in there and it's down negative 15% for one bad year, then you're going to be losing everything.
Right. Yeah.
So it's only money that you can afford to not look at for a long time.
Life lessons, life insurance lessons with OJ.
101.
Peeling the orange.
Pretty much. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have one older brother. He's 2 years older than me. He's studying computer science.
Of course
Yes.
he is. Comp sci engineering. Oh.
He's very supportive of my Brawl career. Probably the most supportive out of everyone in my life, actually.
How does he support you?
He watches every stream. He asks, like, if like the Wi-Fi is not working too good, he asks, like, do you need me to stop playing for a little bit so that, the Wi-Fi gets better? Like, he supports me a lot.
Do you guys ever play on Ethernet?
Yeah.
Internet? Yeah.
All the time. It's a must.
I just started playing on Ethernet like 2 days ago, and it's like, oh my god, I'm ready. Anyone want a stew carry? I'm ready.
It's
Bring it
fancy.
on. Stew Mortis. I unlock something.
Got that 0 ping.
Oh man,
It feels
it's
way
different.
better.
It does. How else does he support you? Like, does he play Brawl Stars?
No, he doesn't play Brawl Stars, but he's actually coming to Japan along with my whole family.
Your whole family's
Oh.
going. No way.
This is the first time, and
Have you ever been to Japan?
No.
And you watch Attack on Titan? Oh man, you're gonna love Japan.
It's huge for anime, right?
Not just that, like the food is so good. And, I could go off about Japan, but what about
Have you been to Japan?
twice? I would.
Here he goes.
I'm gonna cut myself short. I would live there if I could.
Oh.
But it is really hard to get residency there and everything. There's a lot of red tape you have to cross to live there. It's a really healthy country where the school programs, they have dedicated nutritionists to make the meals for the lunches for the students. So no one is really overweight because the government sees that as an investment in reducing healthcare costs
Right.
just by teaching everyone young. Did you know that in Japan, everyone cleans the classroom?
Like cleanup
The
time.
entire class.
Yep. So it's like a culture of cleanup. There's like no cleaners in school because everyone helps pick up and does their share. So if you have heard stories in like stadiums where it's like it's thrashed, and then you have like Japanese contestants, you have Japanese fans at like the stadiums, they'll actually stay behind and just like help pick up the trash because it's like ingrained in their culture.
Isn't that what actually happened at the FIFA World Cup?
That's what happened
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I saw that. They started picking up the trash at the stadium.
Japan's like definitely my number one place to go. So I'm
Do
very
you guys
excited.
like Japanese food, sushi, onigiri, or anything like that?
sushi? Yeah, I
Curry,
love
like-
sushi.
Have you tried Japanese curry?
Curry? No. I would probably try that.
Oh man, everything in Japan is so good, and it's like a different culture where everyone takes pride in what they do. They want to make the best food or whatever they're doing really good. Like even Japanese viewers always laugh at me when I say this, but when I say, "Oh man, the Japanese sushi in 7-Eleven, like the prepackaged crap, tastes better than like a restaurant in my city." I'm like, what kind of restaurant do you have in your city that's trash? But like even the 7-Eleven sushi is pretty decent.
I've heard 7-Eleven in Japan is actually like,
It's big.
yeah.
It's so big that they have their own bank.
Oh,
7-Eleven
Yeah.
bank. It's like
wow.
it's so massive that the Japanese they're like, wait, 7-Eleven is an American company? We thought it was Japanese. Because it's like such a big part of their
yeah.
ecosystem and culture and everything. Because it has everything. In fact, the Dream Hacks event that you guys are going to pick up the Dream Hacks tickets, you go to 7-Eleven.
Really?
Really?
Yep.
Crazy.
Oh yeah. Siblings. Do you have any siblings, Izzy?
I have an older brother and a younger sister, so I'm the middle child. My sister is wrapping up her junior year of high school, and my brother is he's not in college right now. He's 21. He's 21.
Does he work anywhere?
He works. He's been doing this. He's like a data analyst. He works for a friend, and he loves it. He likes it.
That doesn't sound like he needs to go to college at all.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to. All you have to do is be able to do it, I guess, and he can do it. He's a really tech savvy type guy, and he can get around a computer. Like,
Do you have any siblings, Zoulan?
I have a sister. She's 24. She's 24. She studied a psychology degree, a bachelor's, and then one more year of master's, human resources. And she works at the Miami-Dade College financial aid.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
It seems like all the degrees kind of came together for like helping people.
yeah.
Yeah. So is she like an advocate for mental health because she did like a psychology degree or anything like that? I see a therapist every few weeks. That was like part of like the whole like getting my health up there, and it's great. It's such a cliche millennial thing to say. I'm like, oh yeah, therapy helps everything, but no, it's great. And like, how's the perspective of that with your family?
Well,
Because immigrants don't believe in mental health. My parents don't. They're like, what's mental health?
yeah, I would say my mom doesn't really. She hasn't really always like, oh, let's go to the doctor, maybe see a doctor for like mental health, and she doesn't really like that. My dad and my sister do, but my mom is like,
For my family or like my aunt or whatever, it's almost like admitting that there's something wrong with your child. But it's like, it's such a different perspective where it's like, it's not that something's wrong, but something that you can like improve on. And it's a huge stigma that is being overcome right now.
me personally, actually, I haven't told my teammates. I think I did. I'm not sure. But for Worlds last year, I went to a psychology. I don't know, psychologists. I don't know in Spanish, but psychologists to like improve focus.
Yep.
So that's something I've done to like improve focus on stage, where people are just screaming at you. And a play happens, you like die, you get pulled with all gems, and people go wah crazy. How do you like focus to like the next game?
Dota was one of the first esports out there to have teams with psychologists to like improve that mental game. It's like going back to what I was talking about earlier, like some of the best players, they're not phased if they lose or something, or they get heckled in the crowd. They're able to just keep their composure. And part of being a pro is being able to have that emotional regulation. It's crazy. So that's really cool.
I would say out of all the teams, I feel like we actually do a pretty good job at just keeping our control. We have like ice in our veins in a way. But for me, I kind of like wanted that extra help with the psychologist. But I think as a team, I feel like we've always done pretty good at just keeping our cool.
And for perspective, for anyone that's listening out there that's never been on stage, it's unreal. It's completely different. The lights are blaring at you. Depending on the setup, sometimes you might have like 5 spotlights in your face. It's blinding. You might even have like a subwoofer literally 2 feet away from you. It's just blasting. Every time you do a play, like I don't know who plays Shelly, but you use a Shelly super, boom! It just starts vibrating your whole body and everything. Even with the headphones, you're going to feel the bass.
Yeah.
And just like the cheering, even with noise canceling headphones. Sometimes you guys have like helicopter grade noise canceling headphones, and you will still hear Nat and John cheering.
100%.
Yeah.
Worlds Paris 2022.
John.
John. Yes, John. But mid game, you would hear tribe, and then you would hear after a small second, you would hear let's go SK, and that gets to you. Like you're just while you're playing, you're trying to like focus on your lane when you're in Brawl Ball or score, and you're hearing let's go SK. It does get to you, you know.
What are your future plans, Tyrant?
Well, yeah, right now I'm still doing college, balancing out Brawl Stars. Like I said, I wanna compete in Brawl Stars as long as I can. You know, if I can do electrical engineering and Brawl Stars and finish both those things, then I will. But if I start to falter a little bit in electrical engineering, then I will take a break, and then finish college, and maybe I'll go back to Brawl Stars.
Do you have any future plans for that? Like, let's say Brawl Stars does really well, you get your degree. What would you love to do?
I've put a lot of time into my studies. But I'll also,
C's get degrees, man. C's get degrees.
yeah. I mean, if it's possible to do both at the same time, then I will. But if I have to choose, if both are making me a lot of money, and if I had to choose, I'd probably choose Brawl.
Oh yeah, no brainer.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I don't know what my parents would think of that, but yeah, if the money is right, then I don't think they should care.
Would you plan to be a pro player forever? Would you ever do any content creation?
My cousins actually have been getting on my ass to do content, do streaming, get on top of all that. I was actually gonna do that after 2021 Worlds, but I stopped after the spin happened. But yeah,
That was my favorite moment, by the way.
not mine. But
Whether
yeah,
you won or lost, it was still my favorite moment.
yeah. I had a plan, to do YouTube and all that, but I took a break. But yeah, I want to hopefully eventually get back into that if I do decide to do Brawl full time.
What about you, Livy?
The future for me is kind of a gray area. I've been told
There's no right or wrong answer.
right. And I would love to do content. I've been told by a lot of Tribe people that I would be great at it. I've streamed before. It's been a blast. And then I actually bought a little PC, about a monitor. And there's currently an issue that I need to work out before I start streaming again.
What's the issue? I'll help you.
That's the issue, is that I don't even know what the issue is. But it's something so small, I think, that once I get it done, I would like to get it started because I think it would be really fun. I know Brawl's not going to last forever. And I don't have
It could.
Well, I mean, I guess it could.
Galadon's been playing Clash of Clans for over 10 years.
This is true. Yeah. If I could be the Brawl Stars Galadon, I would definitely choose to do that.
Supercell makes games that can be played for years to come. And that's the only reason why Brawl Stars went global, was that they were confident
Right.
that it's going to always be around.
I'm going to try to compete as long as I can. I'm not doing college right now, but if I start to fall down in the Brawl Stars skill and some newbies take me over or whatever, I might figure out something else to focus my time into. Or I might pick up another game. You know, Supercell always comes out with new games. If I'm lucky enough and I get my hands on one early and it goes pro into competitive scene and I'm good enough, I might compete in that. But it's just kind of a question mark right now.
Would you pursue content creation?
I would, I think.
And the only thing stopping you is this one.
Yeah, it's the hardest part is starting for me. I'm a giant procrastinator, and I know, like,
Me too. I have massive. I got ADHD, so I procrastinate everywhere.
Corey especially, I've been talking to him the most about it, just because he's familiar with the subject. But he's always telling me that once I get it started, it's gonna be way easier. So I think I just need to force myself to get through the first step to get it started.
I will help you guys.
Well, I will slide in the DMs.
I'll slide into your DMs.
Oh,
please.
Okay. I'll be
Zoulan.
honored.
We talked a little bit about, but tell the audience, like, what are your future plans? Do you have any aspirations to study something? Do you want to be an astronaut? Like, we know nothing about you.
Right now, studies is not in my head at all. I wouldn't know what I'm gonna dedicate 4 to 6, 8 years of my life. I think
there are some people that graduate law school at the age of 40.
Yeah,
It's never too late to go into studies later on. So that's totally okay. But sorry, you were saying?
that's what my sister says too. Like, college is never gonna go away, and my sister's actually been helping me a lot, sort of convince my parents in a way to just let me play. But play Brawl Stars for as long as I can as a pro. Obviously want to win, lift up a trophy with these guys. That's my main goal right now. Content is in the works. I do have a video. OJ, you're gonna see it.
Oh yeah.
I know Tribe has graphic designers, but I paid someone to do some, cook up something for me, which I hope with the Tribe logos and sponsors, yes. But something is cooking. So, but yeah, content is definitely something I want to pursue. I actually streamed, and it was really fun. I feel like people enjoyed watching me stream, and yeah.
I would enjoy watching you stream. You're just a ball of energy. Whoa, let's go! Whoa!
Well, I have my days. Everyone has their days.
We all do.
The raging in Power League it's entertaining.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Are we getting raging with Molt, raging with Zoulan? I'm down to watch that.
Collab.
It's real. It's authentic.
The Brawl Stars molt. But yeah, content is it's cooking. It's cooking for sure.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I have 3 names, which I will picture to you, off podcast. But
All right. Well, we'll probably have your channel linked in the description for this episode.
Thank you. But yeah, I need help with the name. Like,
Zoulan.
Just Zoulan.
Legit.
Zoulan, yeah.
Zoulan YT gaming with Zoulan.
Mine is as Livy.
YT.
Just
Livy.
gonna go ahead and
How
say
did
that.
you come up with a name as Livy?
It's really, really bad. It's not that creative, but it's I guess it is. My first name is Ethan. My middle name is Zachary, and my last name is Livingston. So I kind of just, the E and the Z, and then the Livy, and that's just. I've been called that ever since I was little. I have a T-shirt from when I was little of the San Antonio Spurs, which is my favorite basketball team.
No, you're lying.
I'm not. That's the real reason I joined Tribe, is because the San Antonio Spurs or the Austin Spurs are a sponsor. But on the back of that jersey, it's Easy Livy, and so I guess it just kind of stuck.
That makes sense. What about you, Zoulan?
My name? So my cousin, he's 30. He's old. Actually, he's 32. Old.
Oh, he's old.
He's
Oh,
old.
oh,
OJ.
he's old.
Are you gonna take that?
He's up there.
Me personally.
He's a year younger than me. I'm 33.
I'm gonna clip this, send it to him actually. But
You don't look 33.
No, I don't. When I was working in management, when I was like 23, 24, whatever, people weren't taking me seriously. Like, I'm not going to listen to this child. And after like working with me for 2 months, it's like, okay, I actually respect this kid. I mean, adult. So like, I will listen to what he has to say about stuff. But a funny story about my baby face, I was like 18 going clubbing, like, oh, I'm gonna go pick up a girl tonight. Drink some liquid courage, and I just start marching in, like, hey. She just looks at me up, down, looks at my braces. ew, pushes me away. You're young enough to be my son.
Oh,
Like, oh,
That hurts.
That hurts.
core memory deposited. But yeah, the baby face wasn't always a positive until I started getting older. Because now it's like, yeah, I look young. This is great. But before I was like, oh my God, I look like a child.
You were taking the L's at
Yeah.
the clubs.
Massive L's.
So my cousin, he was a hardcore gamer. He used to play Halo, Halo Reach, Halo 2, COD, a lot of COD. He was always in the leaderboards, but back then, 10, 15 years ago, esports wasn't as big.
No, it wasn't. I know. My Steam account is older than all of you.
Steam account.
Way back before CSGO, CS 1.6. I was playing way before that.
Dinosaurs.
The dinosaur game. But your cousin was a hardcore gamer.
Yeah, so he was up in the leaderboards, but then since I kind of popped off in esports, I kind of took his name. I was like, yo, can I
I'm
make this my name?
hijacking your name.
Yeah.
Stolen.
But yeah, Zoulan, that was all him. He put the letters together. So yeah, that's my name, Zoulan.
I feel like that has special meaning to it because that's like you're inheriting it from family as well. And like yours is like your name, but Tyrant.
Kind of embarrassing, but when I named myself that, I was pretty young at the time, and I didn't even know what the word meant. I just thought it sounded cool. And then years later, I found out what it meant. But so many people knew me by the name, so I just called myself that in Brawl Stars, but I added star after it for Brawl
Ooh,
Stars. So
Fancy.
Tyrant Star.
That makes so much. It's
I
so
never knew
obvious, but your teammates didn't even know that.
I didn't know that.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Still sounds cool to me.
it'll always be cool because it's got a special meaning to me. On the other hand, no man, I was just skiing one day and my friends were like, "Hey, you should make a YouTube channel." I was like, "Oh, I don't know. What should I name it?" Orange juice. It was like a McDonald's cup with like a little bit of orange juice in the bottom. I was like, I don't know, orange juice. And
That was it?
That was it. I have decision paralysis. I was like, I could literally spend 4 hours on the naming screen because back in my day, names were unique. So you take it once, it's with you forever. You can't like get a different. You can't
Right.
use someone else's name. Even though I'm a co-owner, how do you guys feel about Tribe? And be real with me, Tyrant.
I think it's definitely the best mobile gaming org. They've, done everything they can to take care of us. With boot camps, with all the content, with us, flying in to do like shoots and filming announcement videos. And everyone at Tribe is so welcoming. And I really like Tribe, and it's definitely the best org that I've joined in Brawl Stars.
That's awesome. That means a lot. Even though Kaner probably didn't take care of you well enough. What do you like or hate about Tribe?
I mean, signing to Tribe was the first time I signed a contract, so it was a big thing for me.
Oh man, you didn't sign with anyone else?
No, this was my first time.
You need to experience bad before you can
Well,
experience goodness.
I'll take good right now. I was signed last February, and then the week after, they told me to come out to film an announcement video.
A week later.
I almost didn't go. I was so nervous about going. My mom was like, "No, you have to go, because if you want to make this a thing, then you need us. Like, you got to start here." And so I went. I think the first person I met was Casey, and Kaner. Maybe Kaner. I mean, I had talked to Kaner before, but the first person I actually met, I think, was Casey. He took me out to lunch. And it was just instantly, from being this introvert that was not touching grass to flying across the country to meet people I've never...
By yourself.
Yeah, by myself.
Yeah.
To meet people I've never knew existed and never would have known existed. To see how cool the staff and everyone is at Tribe. Definitely meant a lot, and I think I grew as a person because of it.
That's really
Except
cool.
for Kaner. No, I'm just kidding. I love Kaner.
Get out of here, Kaner.
I love him.
Get out of here. Zoulan, is there anything... How do you feel about Tribe? And be honest, even if they're like saying it's really great, and even though I'm sitting here, I want to hear the dirt.
Well, you are expecting something negative, but honestly, there's nothing really negative I have to say about Tribe. Very welcoming. Every single LAN event is a blast. Tribe takes care of us very well, like extremely well, I would say. So I have nothing bad to say about Tribe. I love Tribe.
What do you love about Tribe? Not to toot my own horn.
The people. I think you guys are just really nice people. You know, the staff, the owners. You know,
Oh, thank you.
Owners.
Oh, tell me more about me.
The
I love it.
subtle.
obviously, I'm gonna keep it real. You guys have a lot of reach too. You guys have worked hard for that. You guys have a lot of following. You know, really get good sponsors too. Shout out to Samsung.
Oh, there's a lot more. I don't even know if you guys know what the next ones are. Imagine if like Zoulan, you can probably relate to this. Like, imagine if we were just decked out in like the whole Gucci spring fit for spring, and then they gave us like a winter Gucci suit. You know? Oh man,
I can see it now.
And you're like you're just marching on stage with like a whole Gucci jersey going
Yeah,
on,
like a
like
Gucci tribe.
Oh, Gucci X Tribe.
yeah, they did do that with 100 Thieves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, nothing bad to say about Tribe. Nothing negative to say about Tribe.
Dang it.
Yeah, I just think Tribe is great. Best mobile org.
How did you feel, Tyrant, when with the moment of the thumbs down?
It was
Because on stream I was so I love to BM. I was having it. That's when I felt most alive.
it was by far the worst day of my life. I still remember me being in the hotel room, just like pacing back and forth, like contemplating like what just happened. Like I was getting so much hate. I was too embarrassed to even go down and see anyone. Yeah, it was a very tough time.
And all of this was just from you were just doing that playfully in the moment.
Yeah.
And like you weren't expecting all those repercussions, because like I'll do a thumbs down all the time in Clash Royale, but like that it's like the consequences are, it happens in like 0.1 seconds, that it was just so big for you. And you were saying that you were just pacing your room and
Yeah, I was just it was definitely a life-changing experience, because I would see other like famous people get like hate. I was like, that would never happen to me, right? But it did. So many people hated on me, and I think it really changed me as a person and really matured me. And the next year, 2022, I did no spinning, switched to thumbs up, pretty much got it all out of my system, and I did not spin once the entire year, I think.
that sounds like a really humbling experience. I still love to BM. That's my thumbs down is my main one.
I still miss spinning, but yeah.
Like
You have more discipline than me.
indirectly though, because I used to be a really big spinner with Tyrant. Like if you watch 2021 tournaments, which we won, 5 monthly finals, couple tournaments.
Not
Not to brag, but
Yeah.
we have the highest monthly final wins in NA. So, anyways, but I used to spin a lot with Tyrant, and even after him was the one that got the hate, I was like, I can't really like do this anymore either, because people are just gonna hate us for it. So, indirectly, 2022, I stopped spinning too. But when we beat SK, you can roll the clip. I was spinning on the Janet, on Guille and Chaos. Well, Guille, I love you, Guille, but Chaos was spinning on him, and Semantic. I will say that here, clip, and send it to him.
No, it's all fun and games, and language is a really finicky thing. Every person has different meaning and weight behind each word. If I say fuck, it's like I say that normally off with my friends. It's like it's whatever. But if someone is from a very conservative upbringing and they've never heard that ever, it feels like I just like punch them in the arm. Like it's really offensive. And like for me, when I do a thumbs down, it's like I'm having fun. I'm thumbsing down. But from someone else's perspective, it could be like, I hate you and your guts, and I want your existence to cease. So it's like it's also a language thing. Some people can perceive that really offensively, and I don't know. Am I getting too deep into this?
No,
I
you're
would
good.
say I fell under that category, actually. Well, like when I was bad and I would do these third party, these tiny tournaments. I remember specifically, I'm great friends with him now, but Alec26 and I, we used to have, he was better than me. And every time he won, it wasn't a personal thing, but I took it personally just because I didn't see the point, and I know it's just for fun. I knew it was just for fun then, but it still annoyed me to a point where I think I actually DM'd him. I was like, there's no need. And I knew I was just probably angry in the moment that I lost the game or whatever. But I never grew up doing that. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Obviously, it's a video game, and it's in the game for a reason. It's just to have fun. But I guess my mindset the whole time I'm playing a game is just to win and move on.
Win, have fun.
Everyone has different ways of having fun, and there should be no judgment on how other people choose to have fun, I think.
Even me and his Livy, actually, we have DMs.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we have DMs, in a couple tournaments where we would like spin on each other, and we were like,
Really?
"Yo, you gotta calm down." Yeah, me and his Livy have.
You were beefing. I love this tea. Sip, bitches.
And that's like hardcore spinning. But even like not spinning, I remember 2021 Worlds where I was like hitting my chest, like that got to SK, and then they did whatever they did in MSI, and then I obviously Worlds. So even like not spinning, like there's a saying in Spanish, I don't know how to say it in English, but like your happiness can be like my, like I don't really know how to say it, but they were like obviously
say the Spanish term, so in case anyone that does speak Spanish.
La felicidad de uno es la desgracia de otro. Like your happiness is my sadness in a way. I don't really know, but that's basically it. So them seeing us really happy winning, they did whatever they did at MSI, and then we obviously came back at Worlds. So maybe seeing each other in Japan.
Are you guys excited for Japan or like the future of everything? I'm excited for Brawl Finals 2023, wherever that is. I'm so confused. Do you guys qualify? I need to do a better job of following, but esports is so confusing. Do you guys have the points for finals? What is it?
So basically, there's a long season. There's 6 monthly finals this year.
Okay.
And every monthly final, you get points depending on your placement.
Yeah.
So if you get first place, for example, you get 100 points. And if you get second place, you get 60, and so on and so forth. But yeah, every monthly final, if you get first, you get, points. And whoever gets the most points throughout the season qualifies for Worlds, basically.
And so we're coming up on the third monthly final of the season. Yeah. But right now we're number 1.
Coming up on 3, and what would guarantee a finals position?
I haven't done the math.
Winning everything.
Well,
I think
yes, winning.
That's
as
the
corner,
mindset.
I think that it'd be really good for us to be proactive rather than reactive and just like winning. Good.
Yeah, winning rather than like barely making it, like second place and being all scrambly towards the end. But yeah, winning. I think if we win like 3 more monthlies, which is kind of hard, we clinched it. So
how did you guys get into esports? Competitive, like from being decent to competitive to into esports into tribe? Like, what's the whole process with that for you, Tyrant?
For me, kind of happened accidentally, to be honest. I was playing ladder with this person named Super Sai.
We know Super Sai.
Yeah.
We love Super Sai.
He at the time was competing in a league called the Nova Championship League. And he thought I played really good with him on ladder. So he invited me to join his team. And we ended up finishing 4th in that. And then, after that, I didn't have any plans to do competitive anymore. But 2 people on that team, Portal and Shadow,
OGs.
Yeah.
Shadow Jutsu.
They really liked playing with me. So they picked me up. They said, we want you to play more tournaments with us. And so that's what we did. We had some pretty good results. Nothing crazy, but yeah. And then 2019 was the first ever like official Brawl Stars season, and I got picked up by Bobby and OG. Ended up finishing number 2, barely missed out on South Korea, and after that I was
You
drawn.
missed big. South Korea was
I know.
fun.
If only
The best part about South Korea, Shiba Nita.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
What?
Shiba Nita?
The skin?
yeah. Oh, I'm right.
Oh.
yeah.
She lives in my head rent free every day.
Yo, Shiba Nita from South Korea, if you're watching this, slide in the OJ's DMs.
I'm recently single this month, so Shiba Nita, what's up? But not Shiba Nita in game. That's a different one. completely different, not to be understood. But yeah, as Livy, for you, how did you get into the scene?
I started playing in beta, not competitively. I just played with my friends at school in the cafeteria during lunch.
Oh, and then you transcended them and you dumped them into the ditches.
I was a lot better than them, and it didn't matter how they tried to balance the team. Whatever team I was on, we would win. And my goal, my kind of focus then was getting my club to top 50 in America, or in NA, I guess. I don't know if we ever got there, but I think I joined one pickup scrim. I have no idea who was in it, but no one good. But I realized that I could kind of hold my own against people that were not terrible at the game. And then I watched a couple streams. I downloaded Twitch for the first time, watched a Brawl Stars tournament. I was like, oh, this thing's an actual competitive game. And then I kind of worked my way. I downloaded Discord not long after. I joined the server where people would do pickup scrims. And slowly but surely, people realized that I was pretty good. And then I guess I joined a couple teams 2021. Never really won anything. Or I guess 2020. And then 2021, I stuck with the team kind of more until I actually got dropped by Toast, which is kind of a funny story. But I was dropped. And then
How's Toast doing?
He's doing not, I mean, he could be worse, but
Not as good as you.
what?
Not as good as you.
Not as good as me. No, he kind of lost his best player, I would say, confidently. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And then
Screw you, Toast. I know you're watching this.
And then not long after I got dropped, I joined one more team with Alec and retired player now Raz, who was a former player of Tribe. And then we actually beat Tribe in the Queso Cup winter split. Excuses can be said.
I wasn't playing.
Okay, there's one.
I was playing with a player I've never played before, so
Okay. We won a tournament, and I was ready to go into the 2021 season when not long after I got DM'd by Zoulan, and then not long after that was Kaner, and that's when
What about you, Zoulan? That's quite the journey they've all had.
So I remember back in Clash Royale, the first tournament I watched, I don't know if it was actually the first Clash Royale tournament ever, but King's Cup.
Kings Cup 1?
Yes.
Wow.
And I saw Surgical Goblin, I think, win.
Yep.
And that was like, okay. So in my school, I was probably the worst Clash Royale player.
Really?
But then August to December, my 7th grade, by December, I was better than everyone.
Wow.
But then I was, not of age of compete. And then I was like, the next Supercell game, I'm going to download it the day it comes out, and I'm going to be really good at it. And I'm going to try. And fast forward to 2020, I was good enough. Tyra was playing with Corey in Super Sign. They were like, yo, we need a fourth. And I joined, and we went to Poland. And the rest is history.
What was your most life-changing trip?
Poland or Sweden? Poland because it was my first one, and Sweden because it was just beautiful, man. Sweden was beautiful. Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful country.
I have a lumberjack bae in Sweden. She lives rent-free in my head, too. I think about her to this day. She built her own cabin with her bare hands.
Holy.
Yeah.
no comment.
Yeah, me and Chief Pat always were like, oh, you remember Lumber Bay? I was like, oh, yeah. I was just thinking about her a minute ago. How'd you know, Pat? Yeah, no. You asked Pat about Lumber Bay. I'm like, oh, Bro J's Bay?
Bro J?
That's a different story.
Bro J?
Yeah, no, those never really make it into the videos because it doesn't make sense. But
Yeah.
what was your favorite trip?
Sweden, for sure.
What made it so special?
Like we talked about earlier, the independence kind of feeling was my first time flying. Well, not first time flying alone, but first time going overseas in general with no one I knew. Just kind of it was my first time also being in a different culture. I've been to Canada, but
No, Canada's the same as the U.S.
Right,
Just
it's
we have
not-
healthcare. And
yeah, Canada's better. I'll say that. But yeah, it was the first time no one was speaking English, and it was a new environment for me. But it was a really cool experience, and That's definitely the most life changing.
What was life changing about, like, any experiences that you had?
Not particularly.
It was probably like small things, you know, like
Yep.
you had to go out for food, and it's like, okay, well, I don't know.
There was
how
no
to
Papa John's,
yeah.
which was
Apparently, you're a big pizza eater.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But nothing crazy. I think it was just the general idea of being in a place that was completely different than home.
It's a completely different culture and just
Yeah.
everything else. Even McDonald's has like different burgers.
Right.
I think for me, Sweden was just like, compared to Puerto Rico, obviously Puerto Rico has, its good things. But I think Sweden was just like very clean. Everyone looked really happy to me for some reason. Everyone just looked happy.
Statistically, it's one of the happiest countries in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And we
And
were,
smartest. Sorry.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
we were like almost like Bayside too, in a way. I think we were like Bayside, the hotel. I think we were close to like a university too. There was like a park in the middle. So I don't know. I just think Sweden was like happy and fun, like happy.
What about you? Did you have a favorite trip?
San Diego would have been my favorite if we won, but
You did win on the first day.
Yeah.
And you guys are winners in my heart.
Thank you.
well,
OJ.
the most life changing is definitely 2021 Worlds. But my favorite was the most recent Worlds because I think that's the first
Was 2021 wasn't Paris? no?
Paris. Yeah, no,
2021 was Romania.
Yeah, 2022.
Right, because it was lockdown, so I wasn't at Romania.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's like out of my memory. But yeah, so 2021 was life changing for you. Why was that?
The spin.
Oh.
And
Negatively life changing.
Positively, it was a
It was
humbling
positive.
life experience,
Oh, okay.
and he's able to ground himself and learn from his mistakes and move on
Right.
yeah,
and
but
grow as a bigger person.
my favorite was definitely the most recent Worlds because it's the first LAN event that I walked out of that I felt very satisfied with because like we came top 4 and we lost to the world champions and I was very satisfied with their performance and yeah I'd say it was also pretty in Paris so yeah that's definitely my favorite LAN event.
It's interesting when you talk about like San Diego would have been your favorite if you won, and when we were going for dinner and you guys kind of had your head down and like, oh, I don't want to talk about loss. And me, I was like, I was excited to see you guys. I was like, you guys won the first day. You guys won the first, and like to make it that far. I think just like having that mentality is like really important to go into another match to be unfazed by it. And I don't know, maybe I'm just too easygoing or like too carefree, but I think that it would really help to go into that approach where it's like more positive. I don't know. Am I rambling at this point?
No, you're right. I mean, just put this behind us, I know we had.
The moment the stage was over, it was already behind me, and I was already excited to just like have dinner with you guys.
I really needed the dinner because like after we lost I don't think like I said a single word and yeah the dinner was really fun and it helped me feel better about the loss.
I didn't feel bad at all. I thought it was great. You guys did great, and like sometimes it's out of your control. Like a draft pick is, you're gonna get outcomped sometimes, and it is what it is, and you can't well, like theoretically, if it's like perfect mechanical plays in both team, but the draft is better, there's literally nothing you can do in a 50-50 match. That's peeling the orange. Zoulan, as Livy, Tarrant, thank you guys for coming on. It was really a pleasure to just like get to know y'all, and
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, OJ. You're an icon in this community, so it means a lot. Thank you. It's peeling the orange for you. Peeling?
I would love that too, but
Put that in.
No.